Wonderful people. This is Tom Check with Choice Coaching. Coming to you today to wrap up our little series on the three voices exercise. We've talked a lot about fear and how this is yet another opportunity, as there will be many in our lives, to identify our fears and step through them. Because we almost never win when fear is running the show. We as individuals, we as communities, and we as a world. So in our first video, we talked about accepting our fear, the fact that it's going to be here and it's going to come back over and over again in our lives. It's a constant. And the power of putting it down on paper so that we don't identify it was our next video. Writing down everything the voice of fear within us has to say about a given situation or scenario that is creating a lot of fear for us. And in the last video, we talked about writing down our voice of reason or our voice of logic about that same situation or circumstance, and having that build in not only space between us and the fear, but also giving us a really good glimpse in kind of how we might react or how we might respond to a situation that we're in. And both of those voices are generally the loudest ones we hear inside of our heads. And when we tire them out by writing them down, everything they have to say, we really have a really golden opportunity to do something that many of us don't do on a regular basis. And that is really touch base with, some people call it their intuition, some people call it their soul, some people call it their gut, some people call it God, whatever you want to call it. It gives us an opportunity to really touch base with our deeper self, the self that knows who we are at our core, that knows what would make us truly happy and fulfilled, that knows how to give even when it's hard. So today's exercise, the final piece of this, is going to be letting out what I'm going to call our voice of intuition. You can call it whatever you want. So after you've written down all the fear and all of the logic, then what we do is we write down everything that our quiet little voice of intuition has to say. And not everything that comes out might make sense right off the bat, and that's okay. Our voice of intuition knows us. And so whatever it says is really important, and it's really true. And fear might creep in, and that's okay. That's what fear is designed to do, and we write it down over on the fear side. But we write down anything that quiet voice has to say. And once we do that, what we recognize is that, our voice of reason and logic is really great. It can create a plan, but it can just as easily create a plan that takes us in the wrong direction as a plan that takes us in the right direction. And when we've got our voice of intuition involved, now we know what the right direction is. And we can start to really leverage our voice of reason, our voice of logic, to create a plan that gets us where we are going to be most fulfilled, most happy, where we're going to be most of service to leverage our superpowers that we all have in our world, with the people we love, with ourselves, and with just the world at large. And then we can also really use that amazing and really powerful voice of fear that's going to be there all the time to identify and plan around some of the obstacles that we know are going to come up, some of the fears we know we're going to face. Because at our deepest level, it's our fears that prevent us from doing anything. They're the ones that really prevent us from taking action. So using our voice of reason based on our voice of intuition to encapsulate our fears and plan around them is a really, really, really powerful tool to help us create the lives that we all want to live. And that's not to say that you're going to be able to control everything around you, right? There are circumstances, there are obstacles that are external that you do not have control over. But the thing that you always have control over, that you always have a choice in, is how you respond to the fear, how you respond to those external obstacles. And if fear is running the show, you'll respond one way. And if your intuition is running the show, you'll respond probably a very different way. So this is the tool I use it with a lot of my clients. It's really helpful for them. I run workshops on this. I'm going to be running a free digital workshop Saturday the 4th around this, and probably again in late April or early May. And we'll keep just driving this home that you have control over your experience. So that's all I've got for today. Stay awesome, stay powerful, and stay healthy. Thank you so much. I look forward to connecting with you soon.